joined now by Limerick hurler Sean Finn following the announcement of Optimum Nutrition as the new official performance nutrition partner of the Gaelic Players Association. To mark the launch of the new 3-year partnership, Optimum Nutrition is giving GA clubs across Ireland the opportunity to win the top prize of a state-of-the-art gym, along with a year's supply of Optimum Nutrition product worth €25,000. The runner-up in the competition will win a year's supply of Optimum Nutrition product for their club worth €5,000 to further their training and performance goals. Visit optimumnutrition.com or Optimum Nutrition IE on Instagram for more information. Sean, 4 days since the Titanic battle in the league semi-final with Tip. How's the body feeling?
Yeah, feeling fresh now at this stage. Really good challenge. Tip were excellent, especially in the first half, and we struggled at times to deal with what they were doing in their accuracy, in how they played the ball around, and yeah, it was satisfying in our response in the second half, and happy to get the result.
It was a really physical encounter, especially in the first, I suppose, 35, and then you turned it on. But I get the sense that you enjoy those kind of games.
Yeah, it's those games are really exciting. They're good for players, but they're good for spectators. And the game of hurling, and we weren't expecting any different. They brought everything, and I suppose at times we failed to match it. But to get the result that we did and the response that we did was satisfying. But yeah, it's good, and it's a good challenge and a good test, and it only prepares us even better for the championship coming ahead.
Yeah, and before we get into the championship, obviously a league final with Kilkenny. Obviously, we had the final last year in All-Ireland. Looking forward to a game like that, because last year was a real cracker.
Yeah, for sure. We expect a stiff test. We see the challenge they posed us last year, and we expect no different on Sunday. So it's up to us to be the best that we possibly can be on the day, and our focus is solely on next Sunday week, and hopefully we can get a performance that will get us a result that we're looking for.
And just going back to the Tip game, obviously there was a share of Limerick players got on the scoreboard. Yourself, Mike, and Nicky are the only ones not. So was there slagging and training this week?
Yeah, the slagging continues, Jack. I haven't got a score with Limerick yet, so that's maybe something that I could look to change in the next couple of weeks. But so far it's looking unlikely.
As a cornerback, does it kind of, are you safe in the knowledge that you know there's so many players around you that can score, that if you do your job, you can let the others do the scoring?
Yeah, I suppose, but it'd be nice to contribute to the scoreboard every so often as well. Comes opportunities, maybe depending on how teams set up to be involved from an offensive perspective. But so far I've failed to do that, and must have a chat with Barry in particular and how he does it. But yeah.
There seems to be a license, though, even for the likes of Barry, and Mike was getting into positions where I know he didn't score, and you've got up the field, that there is license for you to go if it's on.
Yeah, for sure. It's just how the game has evolved. Depending on what our team set up, there's opportunities to contribute further up the field, and there's huge value in it. But yeah, it is. I haven't managed to do it so far, but yeah, it's just the nature of how the game has evolved. Depending on what our team set up, or when you might be a spare man back there to be able to get involved further up the field.
Talking about evolving there, obviously Tip brought a real challenge in the first half, but you seem to, change things around at half time, and it's a real trait of your team that you can kind of see what's coming against you and then put a plan in place to counteract it.
Yeah, Tip were excellent in the first half in particular. Very accurate in their execution of their puck outs, how they played the balls through the lines, and I suppose their efficiency when they were shooting at goal. And for large parts of that first half, we struggled. So we addressed it at half time, had a discussion between ourselves, and just changed a few things. And just luckily enough, then it worked, and we got the results that we were looking for. But it was a great test, a great challenge, and it was just satisfying to get the response that we did in the second half.
And I suppose at half time, what kind of a dressing room are you? Is it loud, or is it quiet? Is there groups and their own discussions, or is it mostly John and Paul and the lads talking?
Yeah, we speak among ourselves. It's quite an open platform, really, for anyone to speak and give their or to contribute what they feel is necessary, and maybe chat about things that maybe they might be seeing that others may not be seeing, and seeing how we can address it in the second half. But it's quite informal, really, just chatting about what has happened and what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. And then obviously the management have their input as well.
We're here today for Optimum Nutrition. Obviously, how important has that side of the game become since you came on the scene probably 6 or 7 years ago?
Yeah, there's a particular emphasis on S&C when you compared to maybe 15 years ago. You see a lot of even club teams now putting gyms in place and placing emphasis on strength and conditioning, and nutrition ties in closely to that as well. Even to see how the game physically has evolved over the last 10 years now, players, and the emphasis on tackles and breaking tackles is quite important. So to be physical and to be strong gives you that ability to perform at the best level, and that's quite important both at the inter-county level and at a club level.
And for yourself, what's kind of your go-to, I suppose, meal before a game? Do you like to get a big meal in, or is it kind of just small bits throughout the day?
Quite basic, Jack, to be honest. Pasta and chicken 2 days prior to the game, and eat as much of it as I can, and consume as much water as I can, and try to stick to that. Don't mess around any curries or anything. Nothing exciting either.
And then in the gym, you seem like a team that enjoys going to the gym, and you can obviously see it, and everyone knows about that photo from the Munster final last year. But you know, there does seem to be a great bond with you on the field and off the field, that you seem to enjoy everything you do.
Yeah, we have a great bond together. I really enjoy spending time together, whether that be on the field or in the gym or outside of training. And just it's the competitive nature of guys as well. They're pushing each other in the field, but also in the gym as well to bring up numbers. And I think guys tend to do it all year round as well. Oftentimes in the off season, it's for not to be a better player, but to be just feeling good about yourself and getting your head straight. So lads tend to do it all year round, but it makes it a lot easier when you enjoy it.
Yeah, and I talk about enjoyment. How was the holiday over Christmas?
Yeah, very good, very enjoyable. Luckily enough, I got a chance to get away and do quite a bit of traveling at the end of last year, which was a positive from the split season. So it was a good opportunity to mentally switch off from the demands of Gaelic games.
And you were talking about switching off there. Do you feel refreshed coming in this year after probably the first real proper split season last year with the COVID kind of gone?
Yeah, I found it really positive as a player, being able to contribute all your attention to the Limerick setup, and then when that finished, be able to contribute as much as you could to the club campaign. And then obviously when that finished, you got an opportunity to completely mentally switch off, and I suppose the opportunity to go do a bit of traveling as well was there, and I took full advantage of that. And I do recognise the importance of mentally switching off, because the appetite then is there when you come back in late December or January to push yourself again for a new long season, because the demands are quite intense. So it's important to be mentally fresh.
Yeah, you talk about appetite there. Can you sense the difference in your side now and 12 months ago when you kind of struggled through the league? I know you got it back together for the championship, but you seem to be flying early doors this year.
Yeah, for sure. We're going quite well in comparison to maybe our league campaign last year, but maybe it contributed towards or to the couple of weeks we done pre-Christmas, which gave us a better platform to be a bit more competitive in the league this year. But in terms of appetite, the competitiveness in the group is always going to keep that appetite there, and it's exciting to see young lads coming in and contribute and push the players that are currently there at the moment, and that's only going to get the best out of everyone in the group, and as a result make the group a better collective.
Yeah, and it's going to be hectic for you. It's been hectic, but it's going to get even more hectic with Munster coming up. Are you happy that you've games on games, that there isn't a very long break, that you're going to have the league final and then 2 weeks later you're going to have 4 months championship games in the space of about 7 weeks?
Yeah, players like playing games. You're going to be training hard anyway, so it's nice to be able to play in front of 15, 20,000 people and play tough, challenging games. And I suppose with games, and if you're getting good results, comes confidence and momentum. So yeah, players at this level like to be playing quite a lot of games, albeit that they're maybe in a condensed period of time. But all things considered, it's positive.
And when you look at the Munster Championship itself, there was obviously 3 teams in the league semi-finals, and then Waterford are under new management as well, and Clare as well from last year. That it's going to be so competitive, but probably something that you look forward to as a competitive kind of team.
Yeah, for sure. Each team will pose a different challenge. For now, we're only looking towards the league or the league final on Sunday week. But I suppose looking ahead at the Munster Championship, each team is going to pose a different challenge, and it's up to us to be the best team we possibly can be any particular weekend. And if we are, then we would think that we would get the result that we'd be looking for. But it's really about ourselves, Jack, and trying to be the best team, or train as hard as we can during the week and be the best team we possibly can be at the weekend.
Yeah, and briefly with Bruff, when we last spoke to you, you were gearing up for a semi-final. Obviously, got past Newcastle, but lost to Monaleen. Does Monaleen going to win the All-Ireland kind of, you know, give you more motivation that you're not that far off it?
Yeah, all teams, like, we did have a obviously unfortunate end to the season last year, but considering the age profile of our group, and when compared to the previous year, it was quite successful, if you can say that. But we'd have hoped to learn a lot from last year and hopefully improve on it next year. But yeah, on the day, I think Monaleen were worthy winners, and they showed their quality to go on and win that All-Ireland final. And it just shows that, I suppose, there isn't much between us, but also if you are successful at a local level, that you can go on and win bigger things, whether that be a Munster Championship or an All-Ireland campaign. So yeah, it's a goal to go after, but we'll have to learn from last year and hopefully win a county title in the future.
And you said last time we were talking as well that you're a keen Arsenal fan. Have you been able to keep up to date with them?
Yeah, we're going all right. Haven't got an opportunity to go over there, but there's a small few of us now that are Arsenal supporters in the group, and you see jerseys being worn this year that have never been worn in the last 5 or 6 years. They've been kind of kept at home, but that's a great crack. A lot of Liverpool supporters and Man United supporters, so it's good banter between the group.